Hello. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me again. Thank you for being so patient with me. Thank you for being patient with regards to network as well. Let's begin. Yeah. Perfect. Coming back to what we are discussing. Now, since there are infinite realities existing, there are infinite versions of ourselves existing, why do we beat ourselves up? Why do we beat ourselves up with regards to what we are seeing in the outside? That one thing that we are seeing in the outside. There are infinite versions where I can mentally, in my imagination, walk anywhere I want. Why am I beating myself up based on something that was from my past assumptions? What I'm seeing right now is a part of the old story, the old state that I have been. And you know what? It's fine. My only reality, my only truth is my consciousness. Like Anila mentioned in the previous live, consciousness is the only reality. That's it. What I am imagining within me, what I am conscious about, that is the only truth. That is the only reality. That is the only thing that matters. If you have to learn something, start fresh, I would suggest that start with the perspective of having your imagination of this law as being your constant partner, your companion. Okay, if you start with this perspective, you will be amazed by the way things will happen. You'll be amazed by the manifestations. You'll be amazed by the way things happen. Right now we are so desire oriented. I am not complaining it. I'm not saying that it's wrong. You can definitely be desire oriented, but I'm just showing you a bigger picture. If you go with regards to your imagination, that my imagination can do anything and everything. It has all the unload. It always figures out for me how to get desires. I'm just going to put it on my imagination and choose imagining or living the end as my only job. It will take care of everything. There was a very beautiful line that was mentioned in one of Neville's lectures. He said, somebody asked him, I have to move into a different place in a week, but I don't see anything happening. I have been sleeping every night that I'm in this new place. So do you think I should start packing my bags? Do you think I should start doing something to manifest? It was like, what? Do you think God ever needs any help? Do you think God ever needs any support from you? No, except for living in the end. That's the only job you have. Nothing that you do is going to move. Yeah, because the law works on its own ways. So you don't have to figure out the way it is going to manifest. Your work is to only live in the end. But if I am of half faith, checking my reality and again going to live in the end, try something new, try some new technique, you are going to be in the same loop. And it is going to be like, like Anila says, you are going to be in the hungry state, the impatient state. You're going to be so stuck up with it. I know, Anila, I so agree with you. The physical senses demand evidence. Exactly. Getting into this hungry state is going to keep you so tired. As what do I look into right now? It's going to be like donkey, which is like the carrot and the donkey. The donkey is shown the temptations of the carrot and is made to run. That's how I see it. If I go behind my desires based on my senses, based on my current limitations, remind yourself that what, if things are not possible for the human me, for the human version that I am, it is still possible and it is still done for the power within. That's it. I don't have to lift a finger. I don't have to do anything. This law takes care of it all. You know, observe your conversations. Observe your conversations, what they constantly go to. Say, for example, you're manifesting a new car. You say, for example, you're manifesting a new job. Say, for example, you're manifesting a specific person, and if you're constantly thinking that, you know what, I want this, I'm trying to manifest it, I need to do this, I need to do this, then you are being in the state, you are being in the old state, you are being in the old story. The most beautiful part next is, once you realize that this is a part of the old story, the old state, and detach yourself that it's not me. These thoughts that I'm getting, negative or positive, whatever you call it, these thoughts are not mine. They are from the old state. They are the leftover, passover thoughts of the old state. And just leave it and go back focusing on the end. You will be free of that loop, free of that pattern from happening again and again. You know what we usually do is, I have done myself, you know, I have heard my clients also do this. They often say, like, you know what, I get all these thoughts, I try to control them, I try to change them, and it is such a tedious job. I didn't want to think that thought. You know, they are all justifying it. So something simple is, detach yourself from that state. You know, because it's the pure you. It's the pure you that has occupied this role. You've just occupied this role. Consciously, unconsciously, we have occupied it. But now I have the liberty to detach myself from that old story, to remind myself, you know what, I fell into a state. This was from that state, and I no more have to continue listening to those thoughts. You know, like, doesn't matter. Those thoughts don't matter. You know, in Law of Attraction community, we were told thoughts become things, and that is why there was so much pressure of thinking positive. We had so much pressure about thinking it in the right terms. But Neville said, you know what, feeling is a secret. Imagination creates reality. If you have imagined it, done. If you're living the end, done. You don't have to nitpick every single thought that you're getting that is not in the favor of your desire. You can just remind, like, okay, this is the song from that old story that is continuing. That's it. Stop. Done. Over. This is how it is all been happening. If you observe your inner conversations and notice that you're still wanting something, still desiring something, still waiting for something, you're not living in the end. You're not accepting that it is possible somewhere. You're not accepting that it can happen. So again, that is all coming from the state of not being conscious. So we go back to the consciousness. What am I conscious of? I want to give something, share something today, a recommendation from me. Please, if you have never read, go to At Your Command, read At Your Command. It talks a lot about consciousness. I'll just share an example from it, from the way Neville, an analogy from the book, where Neville says that, you know, all of these thoughts, all of the things that you're giving your attention to, everything that you're being aware, justifying, whatever, are like sheep, and you are the shepherd. So every sheep will follow you. That's it. Every sheep will follow you. You're the shepherd, and everyone is going to follow you. So it's better you change a version of it and distract it and just go with your ways. I am not sure. I'm not sure if it is making sense, but I hope let's work it out in a better way. Okay. Yes, we cannot walk on two ships. I cannot say it is done, I have it, I am living in the end, and then ask, where is it? Why am I not seeing it? Maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe, you know, it works for everyone, but not for me. It's like you are assuming, and your law is accepting it as an order and constantly showing whatever you're believing, whatever you're assuming. It's following you whatever you're saying. So it's like, you know, remind yourself that it's, if I'm feeling limitation, if I'm feeling like it cannot happen because of all the so and so reasons, because I cannot see in my reality, remind yourself, this is a version of you who is experiencing limitation, and I have the freedom to shift into the version, to just, how do you shift into a version? Just observe. If you were this version, how would you see life? How would you talk to people? How would people talk to you? How would you react? It's like, just doing it in your imagination constantly will help you shift into the new story. This is how we shift into the new story. If anytime you feel like you are thinking about the house, trying to connect the dots, thinking that okay, first I should manifest this, then you are trying to manifest the in-betweens. Always go to your end. Your end is your only friend. Candace say that your true end is your only friend. So choose that. Remind yourself, if I focus on the in-betweens, receiving the offer letter, if I'm waiting for the confirmation, if I'm waiting to see money in my bank, no. This is a dead shadow. What my focus is right now in my imagination, this very second, I already have it. It is all existing in my imagination. That's it. Done. I hope this was a good foundation for you all. If you're convinced, then we can open the doors for the Q&As, the questions that you have. I hope that we said connected. Yeah, I am sometimes conscious of feeling like that state just in me where I feel okay, have been understood what I've been saying in terms of, so I know my own story, realizing that yes, people had the best benefits. Done. That's it. Even if I've imagined it once, it is still done. The basics. So now if you have any questions, please drop your questions. We have 15 minutes. I have 15 minutes more. So if you have any questions, please drop it. Sorry guys, I cannot go beat the questions. If you can type them again. Happy Holi everyone. Thanks so much for being here on this day. Thank you. Happy Holi. Okay, somebody asked me, how do we ignore the reality which is dominating? If I'm constantly giving my attention to this reality, that means see it as a parallel reality, parallel version, not true. There is, if I am ignoring the current reality, I'm somewhere conscious that the reality is saying. But that what is happening in my imagination is the only truth, is the only reality. Why will I change anything in the outside world? It is nothing but a shadow of the old ones. The thing is, when you start going within in your consciousness, accepting it as the only reality, the outside world, the visible world shifts, it changes. But if you're doing it the other way around, that first I am going to wait for the reality to change and then change my consciousness, you're feeding it the other way around. You will, it's like you're trying to change this reality, another circumstance might come up, and then you will again try to change it. Instead, go to your true end, focus on that. Like your past ugly thoughts turn into reality, they are, they would have still existed. Even if you weren't aware of them, they would have still existed in the parallel worlds. So, but right now, if you're being conscious about them, if you are regretting them, if you're judging them, you're bringing them back again. If you understand that everything is my creation, why do I judge anything? When I know everything is me who has been playing from a state, I'm not going to judge it. I'm just going to let it be as an identity of a state, as a part of a state. How to accept reality? Okay, if it comes about accepting, remind yourself that it was just a story that I unconsciously played a part of. Now I'm not going to fight it, because it is just a shadow. It is just a shadow, and the truth is my imagination. Like I said, go back within and remind yourself that what you're imagining is the bigger truth. How to feel like you're living in the end? If you're living in the end, you will try to in the beginning as you're practicing it, sometimes you're going to try to redirect yourself into that end state. you are feeling natural. The most important thing is you start feeling natural about the things, about the end. You'll start feeling natural. Like, say for example, if I need an iPhone, if I need a new iPhone, and if I'm constantly like, I want a new iPhone, I'm not in the end. But as I start practicing that, what, every time I use this phone of mine, I paste the version that it's the new phone, it's the new iPhone, and that is what I'm using. This is the new iPhone that I'm using. And slowly, every time I'm going to see my old phone, the only thing that I can see in my imagination is a new one. So it's like, your inner conversations will shift when you are living in the end. You will stop trying to make sense of anything. I feel I'm saturated with my imaginary act. Should I persist or make a new one? I suggest, try using a different perspective, different simple scene that would make you feel connected to it. You can use I remember when, or you can go 5 months ahead of the time and then seeing back. That also works. How to come out of the lack state? You don't try to come out of a lack state. You just let it be. You just imagine yourself that you are in the state of wealth. You are in the state of abundance. And if you were in the state of abundance, how would you react? Don't react in the reality, but how would you do it in your imagination? Constantly respond from the state in your imagination. It's like building a foundation. Constantly going back and imagining from this new perspective will help you get into that state. But if I try to get out of the lack state, constantly remembering it, regretting it, being aware of it, I'm going to be in the same place. How can I stay faithful and be in a state of my desires? Faith comes in when you observe your world as how it is a projection. For me, that's how it worked. Sometimes in the beginning when I was reading The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Joseph Murphy, I got faith. I had blind faith because there was a hope in me that there is something that can help me change my life. Just blindly accepting, this is how the law, this is how it is, this is how there is the power, which is taking care of me, just doing everything. I would just push myself in that. And I would constantly observe a very small thing that has been a product, a projection of my imagination, one or the other way, be it in a good way or a bad way, whatever it is. I would connect it like, yes, this is how it works, this worked. That helped me create good faith. And how to be in state of your desires is like, by thinking from the end. Thinking from the end and being in a state is what I'm feeling like, both come hand in hand. So what would you respond? How would you respond to things? How would you respond if you had it? What would be the most natural thing? That is the most beautiful part. What would be the most natural thing if you had it? How to change circumstances in our favor? I would say don't change the circumstances. Live in the end. If you're trying to change the circumstance, it's like, trying to connect the dots. Like, okay, first I'm going to change the circumstance and then I'm going to go ahead in the next step and then manifest my desire. It's like a very long procedure. But the most beautiful part is if you focused on your end and lived from it, no matter what you saw, you lived that this is the only reality, the circumstance had to change. As long as you continue giving your attention to the circumstances, to change them, to think for them, you are not, you are going to continue being in that loop. You are going to continue that game. And, anything that you're giving your attention to has to continue. It's like, you're watering that plant. You're watering that circumstance by constantly giving your attention to it. So, don't change the circumstance. Be in your consciousness as if it was already easy for you to get whatever you wanted. It was always easy for you to get what you wanted. How to achieve states that the desire is fulfilled? What would imply that you have your desire? What would imply that you have your desire? What would you feel like? What would be the most obvious thing? So when you start asking these questions and really focus on these answers and think from those answers, you shift into that state. You shift into that story. I want to manifest weight loss. What do you think? What to think during the day? How to feel? I was in the same place trying to do it, but I was so conscious of being this way that I didn't like. I constantly tried to make it happen. Then I don't know why I opened something. I read this line from Neville, which said that you know what, you never help God in action. God does everything on its own. You don't have to do anything except for just being this person that you want to be, this figure that you want to be, this weight that you want to be, and just think from it, and that just walk in that consciousness. And as I started doing it, I had shifted. I'm no more trying to do it. It is like I feel inspired to do something. I feel inspired to drink something. I feel inspired to follow something, some workout, and it is still connecting me to my desire. But as long as I was trying to do it mentally with regards to logically solve it, it was a long procedure. And now I can, people come and tell me that you have lost weight, you look slimmer. What are you doing? Are you dieting? I'm not, but it is still happening. So I would suggest, I know it sometimes when you get back into that same state, like I want to change this. What that lightweightedness feels like. How do you stand? How would you be confident? What would imply that? How to transition from an intellectual shift to a real consciousness. Sometimes we tell ourselves it's done, but maybe deep down still don't believe it. For something like this, I often imagine not how to shift, but I imagine that I've already shifted. I imagine that I know how it is already done. I imagine that I know what to do. So by focusing on that, the part that I know how to do it, I consciously or unconsciously shift into it. So for example, I wanted to learn about states, get a deeper understanding about it, and since few weeks, every second I open a lecture, I am indirectly directed towards the Neville's lectures, which specifically talk about states. I am directed towards videos which talk about states. So it's like every time you back yourself up, that I know what to do, I know how to make it happen, I know the answer. Done. What are your views on people feeling delusional when living in the end? I don't know. It's like people have been constantly asking me, what about the delusional? But the truth is, everything is imagination. So how do I name the very process that begins everything in my world as something that is delusional? People who are afraid that they are going to lose, they are not going to manifest, that is when they start naming it as delusional. What if I'm not going to get it? Is it like I'm being delusional? Like, everybody has daydreamed, everybody has imagined something, and they're still manifesting it, they're still seeing it in the reality. So it's like give up on the story or the assumption that tells you what if it fails, and it will stop looking like delusional. I would say I'm highly, sometimes, like many times, I'm illogical. I am only imaginer. I'm that, and I get it. How to manifest clarity. Imagine what clarity would feel like. If you had the clarity, first, imagine that you know it. Imagine that you know the answer, and you can feel a shift. Imagine that. How to manifest clarity. Imagine that what would it be like if you had received the clarity. It's the same process. What would imply that you have the clarity? Then you would feel confident. You would feel like you know things. Stop to figure out how to do this, how to manifest it. Just start assuming I know it. I know this. I know this. I know what you will shift. If you go back to Neville's and Abdullah's Barbados story, Abdullah explained only once as how to live in the end. And no matter how many questions Neville asked Abdullah gave an explanation. It was like, what? You just assume to be that person. That's it. Don't try to manifest how. Don't try to understand the how. Just assume that you are this person. How important is mental diet and self-concept? Self-concept is the utmost important thing. Self-concept is something that you need to, that is going to make a lot of difference. With regards to your desires, it will give you a greater shift. Self-concept is going to detach you from the illusion of logic, senses, and reasons. Mental diet is like, it's your call. Because when you are thinking from the perspective of self concept, imagination, always working out, I wouldn't force myself a lot. It would be all inspired inner conversations for me. But when I try to limit myself with a mental diet, it's like I am being a very strong, I am policing it around. I am policing myself to not think this, not to think that. And that causes me strain. I don't want to put efforts like that. So instead, I would only the right things are mattering. How circumstances doesn't matter. Every circumstance, even before it was a circumstance, it was a small assumption within you. Because you were assuming, you were fearing, you were playing with it, that is why you have seen it as a fact right now. Before a thing became a circumstance, it was a small assumption. So and along with that, there are infinite realities existing. So how can I say that this circumstance is true, where in the other reality it is not even existing? So I would just like to push myself into that version and live from it. Can I still manifest an even though I don't believe I deserve it? Yes, you definitely can. It is definitely possible. It is definitely done. I'm trying to live in the end, but my attention is going again and again in the current reality. This is what we are not supposed to do. Don't regret. Don't try to push yourself to change it. The more you try to resist the reality, the more you try to fight the reality, you are going to be bound by it. So don't try it. Even if your attention goes into the reality, remind yourself, like, it's okay, it's fine. I am going to now go and imagine again. That's it. Do you consciously alter reality and see what you want to see, or do you just do your imagination session once and have faith for the rest of the day? For me, both the ways work. Sometimes I consciously change the reality if I am in the mood to have some fun, to just see things change. Or sometimes, just go in my imagination and trust it. Works both the ways. What if self-concept or state one lives in is the most is rejection or abandonment? First I would like to go into my awareness and try to reason myself out with regards to it. First, I would work on my consciousness. If I want to free myself, if I'm a very logical person, then I would first go try to reason myself out. And reason, rejection, and abandonment exists. When I think that world is separate from me, there is a world separate from me and which can do things to me, where I'm a receiver and I'm waiting for the world to do this. That is when it exists. But when I know that every single cause is based on me, how can anybody reject or deny me or abandon me? It only happens because I am aware of it. And you slowly talk yourself out. No matter how hard you try, you cannot disconnect. No person can disconnect from your life. This is all a very deep embedded process. So I would suggest, go to At Your Command. Try to just read it without trying to manifest your desires. Just try to read it as something for your mind, a food for your mind, the food for your mind. How to come out this? We think, not to think, but it's done. The more you try to ignore something, you because you're conscious of it, your attention is still going to go to it. You're still going to look at it from the corner of your eyes. So what? I don't care about my reality shows, because I have imagined it, and that's the only truth that feeds me. I don't have to wait for the results, wait for the response in the reality to accept it. Trying to go last, but still I'm running in current reality. If you wait for the current reality to change, you will be constantly in it. Your imagination is the only truth. I would suggest that if you could, you read The Law and the Promise. There are many stories on it where people will show you that where the stories show that even if the story was opposing, people still persisted and they still got. Okay, I have 5 more minutes. How does meditation help you in imagination? It's your call. If you want it to be fruitful, it will. Um, I don't meditate usually. I don't know. I read a lot, and that is when I imagine. That is along with it, I carry it on. So it is basically dependent on your call. What comforts you? Meditation helps people a lot. That is also true. I hope this has helped you all. Help a lot. I was telling you. How do we keep optimal health through imagination in such trying times? Call me delusional. Call me I don't know, whatever you want to. There are no trying times when I know I'm the creator of it all. When I think that something does exist, there's a world like this that exists, then that definitely is going to hold me all the time to it. The only truth that I know is there's health. The law is always working. My assumptions are the only thing that I need to worry about. Not worry about, but that I need to set straight things with. So no matter what you're seeing, you're like, you know what, I have always been in the perfect health. I remember when I was worried about the reality, and now I'm living the best health forever. You know, I remember when. How do we know that it's absolutely going to happen? By remembering that it's a promise. You wouldn't have been given this desire if it wasn't so. You're not getting it sometimes in the reality because you are thinking logically, you're trying to make it happen. You are feeling limited by this body. That's the only time. But you know, that's a promise. The gravity always works. It never fails you. You know, it's like it only fails. It only disappoints when you are somewhere assuming that, you know, what if it disappoints? What if it doesn't work? That's the only time. That existed was The Law of the Promise and At Your Command. These are the two books that I'm suggesting now, and the other one is Powerfulness. Very beautiful, very, you know, calming. Try them out. Has helped me, yes, but I like digging things. I like in my own way. I don't like doing it in my way. I like to imagine constantly and fun. So I'm a very sass any person. I like to go on my imagination, just do it with my imagination. That's it. But yeah, Sats has helped. I remember during my best wedding, I would constantly fall into a drowsy state and repeat to myself, "Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? That something amazing is happening to me right now." For my brother's wedding, it was a huge task for me, so I kept imagining it, and the entire wedding went the best. So Sats has definitely helped me in manifesting. Okay, last 2 more questions. Can you give me tips on manifesting good marks? What would imply that you have received good marks? Who would notice? How would you talk to people? What would you feel within? How would you talk to your parents? How would they ask you? And you know, when you focus on the end that you did really well, it inspires you to study particular concepts. It inspires you to study some things. It inspires you to do some things. So always focus on the end. It will inspire you into different things. Consider all the process of manifesting. I know I've been constantly for 7 years. My process of manifesting has not been affected, but it has enhanced. So it's your perception that is limiting you or helping you. For me, it has been a boost. Every time I read about the law, I constantly read it. I read it every day. It boosts me up. It gives me amazing insights, you know, because I live for something. But it's happened to me that when I have been absolutely sure that it didn't happen, and I don't have positive thoughts about it. No, having positive thoughts is not the thing, but the state of consciousness that you are in that manifest. And why are you saying that it's done, that it failed? I would suggest go and revise it. Go and revise it that you did receive it. It is going to stop all the further disappointments. It is going to come back into your life. There is going to be a change. That is what revision is for. I would suggest not accepting it as final. Like Erica said, not accepting it as final. Okay, thank you guys. I hope you all had fun. It was a good experience for me to come here and to have this amazing conversation. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day. See ya.